Well, today we are talking about a topic that is so close to my heart because I have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on my hair as far as supplements go, what to do, what am I missing, what is going on. This is before I even knew anything about health and I was eating all the wrong foods and doing all the wrong stuff. Hair has been a focus of my life. I definitely have this topic. It just gets me so excited because there are solutions. And as we start getting into this, if you have friends or family that need to hear this, share this video, share the group chat link on Telegram. It will be in the notes. It's in the chat. I've already put it in the chat, but also share. It will be in the link. So please share because the information I put in the group chats are on Telegram are so invaluable and they really give you the power back over your health. So let's talk about your hair. The health of your hair is the window into the body's internal system, and hair loss is one of the greatest indicators of poor health, currently affecting both men and women. And it's the first thing to go. Your body does not care what you look like, it cares what the organs on the inside what the health is of those, and your muscles and your tissues and your bones and your brain. It's going to sacrifice your hair, your nails, and your skin at the expense of the stuff on the inside. So if your hair is healthy, you know that a lot of good things are going on the inside. And so you know that if it's dry or if it's brittle or if just it looks dull and maybe one week it looks worse than the next, it is truly as a way that you can tell that your internal health is suffering. The two root causes of hair loss are the same causes of most chronic disease, and that is toxicity and insulin resistance. Those are the root causes of most health issues and accelerated aging, and hair loss is no different. Number one, toxicity. Toxins from heavy metals, radiation, graphene oxide, spiked proteins, GMOs in our food, pesticides, herbicides, they all hinder our cells from absorbing the proper nutrients and minerals needed for your overall health. And that, of course, includes the health of your hair follicles. And radiation causes DNA to become scrambled, okay, and the cell walls to become rigid. And this causes an inability to absorb nutrients efficiently. I've talked about my son Jackson's experience with leukemia. And when I saw his cells underneath a microscope, his cells were very rigid. They looked like stars or spikes, and those were cancer cells. But then they also they weren't plump and dark and nutritionally dense. They were very hollow inside. And you do not need to be a medical professional to look at those pictures and realize, something's not right with those. Well, it was because they weren't able to absorb nutrients efficiently. Their cell walls were very rigid. And Heather talks a lot about phase angle of the cells, and that's the rigidity or the fluctuation of the cells. So radiation causes the DNA to be scrambled and then those cell walls to become very rigid. Hair follicles need important nutrients, including amino acids from protein. And I really strongly suggest you get that protein from wild animal protein, a protein like chicken, turkey, conventional beef. Those have amyloid proteins in them that cannot be broken down by the body and therefore are not usable and can cause issues in joints and the brain and lead to Alzheimer's, dementia, and other things like that because the amyloid proteins get deposited and it becomes amyloid plaques. So the important nutrients like the amino acids from wild animal protein are very bioavailable for the body to absorb, to use right away. It is hard to get those amino acids from vegan sources. You also need B vitamins. Where do you get the B vitamins? Animal protein. You also need minerals like iodine. And of course, we'll talk about that in a minute. And then collagen. Collagen is needed for your eyesight, for your bones, for your hair, for your skin, and for your nails. Regardless of how much of those nutrients you are ingesting, if your cells cannot absorb those nutrients, you're going to experience hair loss. So, with insulin resistance and hair loss, when you suffer from high insulin and high blood sugar from eating processed foods, high amounts of sugar and glucose, then the levels of androgens and testosterone increase in the body. Now, we want testosterone. Testosterone's that good feeling hormone, the one that gets us out of bed, that burns fat, that gives us really good muscle tone. But too much testosterone and the wrong kind is not what we want for our hair. So, how do we do this? Androgens convert to DHT. And you will hear about DHT if you have been suffering from hair loss and you've been looking into things like Rogaine or Propecia. They block that molecule called DHT. That is not something our body wants. And when we are too high in estrogen, or I should say the wrong kind of testosterone that converts into estrogen, that's another negative side effect. So you want that balance of the good amounts of testosterone and hormones. So the testosterone, what happens is it combines with an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase to create the DHT. DHT can cross the blood-brain barrier and cause issues throughout the body, including the hair follicles or clogging them, hindering the follicles' ability to absorb the needed protein and minerals for healthy hair growth. So you might be taking all the right vitamins and minerals, but the DHT is blocking it, right? Or maybe you don't have the DHT, but you're not taking in the right minerals. There's so many factors that help our hair. So you've got to keep this in mind that it's not just one magic bullet. DHT doesn't cause baldness, but it causes the hair to starve. Halting DHT production is truly the main key to stopping hair loss. What are more causes of hair loss? Loss of collagen, like I mentioned. Hair is dependent on collagen for growth, and as we age, we naturally lose that collagen through the body, especially in the bones, hair, skin, eyes, joints, and nails. And if collagen isn't replaced through supplement and diet, we will suffer, and that includes the hair loss. There's 16 types of collagen, but the majority of the collagen in our body is type 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you need it for, like I said, your bones and your eyesight. Did you know your eyes are like 90% collagen? So as we're talking about vision loss and some other ailments, collagen is really important. And what I'm going to talk about in my collagen recommendation is the different types of collagen. A lot of collagen supplements out there are just like type 1 and type 3, or they're coming from a bovine source that doesn't get broken down in our body the way our body can actually understand how to absorb it and use it. So collagen is very important. A lack of those amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks for hair. And without sufficient amino acids, hair follicles will starve, leading to that thinning and eventually hair loss. Many vegans and vegetarians and people on low protein diets will suffer from hair loss due to insufficient amino acids in their diet. I always say vegan, someone that goes from the standard American diet to a vegan diet, the first 6 months is the honeymoon stage. They feel great. They see an improvement in their energy and everything else. It's not what they're eating, it's what they stopped eating. They stopped eating the processed foods, the high sugar diet foods, but a lot of vegans then start experiencing is hair loss, a lack of energy after that 6 months because they're not getting the iron that's needed. The iron that comes from vegan diets is not as absorbable. So it's something really to key in on. And then they become insulin resistant because a lot of the foods on the vegan diet are high in carbs. To get the proper amount of amino acids, you have to take in a lot of foods that are high in carbs as well. So that's something to think about as well. So not only are you not getting the amino acids, but you're also suffering from insulin resistance. So it's a double whammy as far as against the hair fight there. Okay, the next one is calcium. This is something people don't think about. Calcium in a negative way can be deposited through the body in the joints, the kidneys, and the hair follicles. And I've talked about oxalates. So oxalic acid that comes in foods like almonds, spinach, Swiss chard, berries, they bind with calcium. Those and that forms the oxalates. The oxalates can cause kidney stones or cause arthritis. And then what it also can do, it can clog those hair follicles, which leads to nutrients not being able to get to the hair follicles once again. So that calcium in that way is a buildup that is not a positive in your body. Magnesium deficiency. Magnesium is needed for over 600 things in your body. It's not only needed for hair growth, but it also counteracts the calcium negative effects throughout the body, including the hair follicles. So if there's insufficient magnesium levels in the body, the hair follicles don't receive the needed magnesium for growth and further will suffer from calcium clogging the hair follicles. Also, magnesium is needed for protein synthesis and considering the hair is made from nearly all protein and amino acids, magnesium deficiency would hinder the absorption of the needed protein for hair as well. Lastly, super exciting, magnesium can dampen the effects of DHT on the hair follicles. So without it, DHT will do more damage to the hair follicles. So magnesium in 3 different really important ways, it's going to help with your hair growth. Fluoride. We've heard that we need fluoride in our toothpaste, right? No, please don't. Number one, if you take nothing away from this talk, take away the fact that you need to go out and find a fluoride-free toothpaste. Fluoride is a toxin found in water, toothpaste, and food, and we ingest it, and it's exposed to our skin and our hair. Just like calcium, fluoride can build up in our tissues and in our hair follicles. Fluoride fits perfectly into that iodine receptor site that we've talked about throughout the body. And if the body's deficient in iodine, those receptors become filled with fluoride, not just fluoride, but chlorine and bromide as well. Go back to chemistry class. They are all in the halogen family. They all look alike and they all can attach themselves to their receptor sites. Fluoride can also clog your thyroid, causing thyroid disease, which will lead to additional hair loss. And that leads me into hypothyroidism. One common symptom of thyroid disease, Hashimoto's or hypothyroidism, is hair loss. And a lot of people will say, okay, my skin's dry, my hair's falling out, I have no energy. I'll right away say hypothyroidism. That is what you're suffering from. This is typically due to a lack of iodine, ATP production, which is cellular energy, mitochondrial function, and just an overwhelming lack of nutrients feeding the thyroid and the hair. When the body's suffering from a lack of resources and energy, like I said, it will sacrifice the hair, skin, nails in order to protect the vital organs. And related to that is PCOS. PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's something that I suffered from. I knew it as soon as I didn't have regular cycles starting as a teenager. And what I didn't understand was that it was caused by my insulin resistance. And if you correct, oh my goodness, excuse me. If you correct your insulin resistance, that PCOS typically goes away right away. Common symptoms of PCOS are hair loss, increased facial hair, infertility, insulin resistance, and hypothyroidism. So they're all kind of in that same basket. And I did suffer from severe hair loss, and I did have the facial hair, and all of that is reversing. So it is reversible. That's the good news. Related to that, and also can be separate, is estrogen dominance. And so many women and men are suffering from this. This can be caused by xenoestrogens from the environment, stress, processed foods, insulin resistance, and poor liver health. Love your liver, right? We have always talked about the fact that you need to love your liver. And that's why I recommend 3 to 4 liver flushes a year, and those are part of the Ascent Diet Cleanse. That's why I put it together, because the Ascent Diet Cleanse makes it so much easier to do the liver flush and get those stones out, but not suffer from any energy loss or fatigue or hangry feelings. You feel great through the whole process. Poor liver health inhibits the body's ability to detox the excess estrogen, which leads to unexplained weight gain, moodiness, and hair loss. Next, gluten. You guys know that people are on gluten-free diets, but gluten is like the one thing, it's so easy to get rid of now. There are so many substitutes for gluten, but then you have to look at the substitutes because they fill those products with other grains that can be doing damage just as much, but gluten attacks the thyroid, and it causes a lot of issues with your gut. It's known to cause leaky gut, which inhibits the nutrient absorption and triggers autoimmune disease, but it is also correlated to hypothyroidism, creating those thyroid autoimmune issues as well. Gluten leads to hair loss through suboptimal thyroid function, and it is compounded by its inhibiting the nutrient absorption because you've got leaky gut. Leaky gut is literally holes in your intestinal lining. So there you are, eating your healthy salad with your wild animal protein. Okay, I'm doing everything Sarah tells me to do, but I've got leaky gut, which means those proteins, those nutrients are going through the holes of your intestinal lining and gets into the bloodstream. Your body says, oh my God, what is this? It has a huge exaggerated autoimmune inflammatory response and leads to a lack of absorption of those nutrients. That's what leaky gut is. So gluten is a huge factor in leaky gut. Next is stress. And this is so much easier said than done. So many people lose hair after a traumatic event or a stressful period in their life. Hair loss is due to stress, is down to the fact that cortisol, the hormone released at high levels during stress, breaks down protein and inhibits the absorption of protein in the hair follicles. Also, that cortisol is raising your blood sugar on its own, and you might as well eat the cupcake, right? You are going to start storing fat and have unexplained weight gain because of that chronic cortisol release. The hair loss industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And the unfortunate fact is the main products in the hair loss market simply don't work, and they cause nasty side effects, from the shampoos containing harsh chemicals to the over-counter pills that are guaranteed to grow hair. They're not working. So why is the hair loss occurring? This is why we're talking about this. And so you do need to make sure that all of your products that you're putting on your scalp are natural. They're organic and they're natural. All the ones that are the expensive main brands, look at the ingredients. Those ingredients are killing your hair follicles. and the water that you are putting on your head. You've got to look at that as well. So, okay, so products to help stop and prevent hair loss. I'm going to start with the best of the best. Now, remember, I have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on supplements that say hair supplement, whatever it is, from all the different brands, and I've been taking all of them. Okay. I'm not being shy about telling you my issues with hair loss. But the number one thing that I have noticed, and it takes time for you to see a difference in your hair, right? And if you feel energy right away from accelerated keto within 30 minutes, that's fantastic, because that's going to give you motivation to keep going. But with hair, it's going to take your body to use what it needs to use on the inside before you're going to start seeing it on your hair and your skin and your nails. The number one thing, the X49 patch. Okay, I have seen a huge difference, and people have noticed and they have commented. The X49 stem cell activation patch is based on increasing AHKCU, a copper peptide. This improves hair density by preventing hair loss and by stimulating hair growth. So in two ways. With age, our blood supply to the scalp gets compromised, and this can lead to excessive hair loss and reduced hair growth. The AHKCU peptide promotes new blood vessels by triggering their release of VEGF. Now, if it's promoting new blood vessels, is this only benefiting our hair? No, it's benefiting our whole body. And that's why it also is so great for endurance and physical performance and fat loss and building the strong muscles, which we'll mention in a second. But it doesn't only just improve the blood flow to the existing hair follicles, but it also stimulates the growth of new hair follicles and improves the size of the hair follicle receptors. So do you understand? It is getting this in a one, two, three compounded results from all of these angles. This patch is increasing that AHKCU. The X49 also prevents the conversion of testosterone to DHT and downregulates the effect of the DHT on the hair follicles. So I'm looking at this, and this is not in the research, but intuitively, well, if it's taking my testosterone and preventing the conversion to DHT, then what is happening with that testosterone that is not being converted now? It might be going to my muscles. It might be stimulating more growth hormone. That is just my intuitive take on this. Now, do I have studies on that? No, but I can tell you, while my hair's been improving on the X49, my muscle mass has increased and my body fat has decreased. So you take it for what it is there. So, okay. It prevents the conversion of testosterone to DHT, and then it also downregulates the effect of the DHT on the hair follicles. I always used to say, if a man was bald, that meant he had a lot of testosterone, because it was a sign of manliness. And my husband suffers from a little male pattern baldness, and I always told him he was extra manly because of it. Well, now he can have the benefits of both, and he is benefiting from it. So this is another really interesting tidbit on the X49. The anagen phase is the growth phase of hair follicles, where the hair follicles actively grow. Now, hair follicles have three stages. They've got the growth phase, the latent phase where they're just kind of sitting there, and then the falling out phase. You have cycles. That's why you will see hair falling out. That's why say you go do laser hair removal, they'll tell you need to come back every 6 weeks because you didn't get the hair follicles that were on that growth cycle, that you need to get it every 6 weeks to really be successful at getting rid of hair. Okay, so for that reason, we want to take advantage of the growth cycle. The AHK-CU peptide can help the hair follicles remain in that growth phase of the cycle and allow the strands to stay there for 3 to 5 years. This is amazing. The X49 also increases energy and recovery after exercise, it increases stamina, improves cardiovascular function and focus, reduces belly fat, increases muscle tone and strength, and increases lean body mass and bone density. So this is also due to the increase in the blood vessels, and then also just it's based on alanine, which is an amino acid. Where do we find this primarily? Animal protein, wild animal protein. That is why it's so important to make sure you are getting enough of that protein in your body to build your muscles, for the strength, for the endurance, and then to get the compounded effect from the X49. Also, it helps with protection from 5G and radiation. That is super important. I mentioned above, the damage from radiation, it scrambles your DNA. It really disrupts our whole body's circuitry. And with that, it disrupts the hair and makes hair fall out. So you're protecting your hair follicles once again by protecting yourself from the 5G radiation, from the smart meters, from the Zoom we're on, from our cell phones we can't stop being on, from these stupid earbuds that I'm wearing at the moment. So in so many ways, the X49 is very important for health, hair health. And with that, you also want to make sure you're using the X39, which resets over 4,000 genes in your body, leads you to be your body to acting as if it's its younger self. That means improved blood flow, improved ability to detox from toxins, reduced inflammation. And that inflammation can cause hair loss. So you want to reduce the inflammation in your body through diet, through exercise, through patches, through supplements. Next, MyVital-C. Now, this is a supplement I was using long before any of the patches, and I saw a huge turnaround in my hair growth. And that is when I stopped taking any of the other supplements for hair that I stopped wasting money on, and I started saving money by using MyVital-C. It is not a vitamin C, it is carbon 60. It's a potent antioxidant that has been shown not only to encourage faster and thicker hair growth and reverse the hair color from gray to the original color, which the X49 does as well, but it also extends lifespan by 90%. So I was using this to reverse my age before the patches, and within 3 months, my age went backwards 3 to 4 years, just within 3 months, and just with the MyVital-C. So it extends lifespan, improves sleep, improves wrinkles, strengthens bones, improves athletic performance, improves libido, and so much more. I feel like MyVital-C should be called a patch because it works so synergistically with all of the patches in anti-aging. And I shouldn't even say anti-aging, reverse aging, because you truly are reversing your biological age. Next is the liquid biocell collagen. This was the second supplement that I ever started using and introduced to Accelerated Health products, second to the Accelerated Silver, and I have not found one that has replaced it. It is unlike any other collagen supplement. It provides you with a naturally occurring matrix of hydrolyzed collagen, hyaluronic acid, and chondroitin. You hear of the chondroitin supplements, you hear of the collagen supplements. This isn't a matrix that our own tissues come in. So we drink it, and it's just like what our body has, and our body says, oh, I know what that is. I know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to take it right where it needs to go. And that includes your hair. The combination harbors a potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. and it helps reduce oxidative stress and inflammation that accelerates the aging process. We want to get rid of the oxidative stress and inflammation. Those will do damage to the hair follicles. So the liquid biocell collagen, the other neat thing about it, as I mentioned, there's 16 types of collagen in the body. This is type 2 collagen. What is so magical about type 2 is that it can be converted into type 1 and type 3 and some others. Most of the collagen needed in your body is type 1, 2, and 3. And this will take care of all of those. Next is a game changer. It's the accelerated keto. The accelerated keto is that supplement that says, okay, I've got the energy mentally and physically. I can go do this. I can go do whatever I want to do. I can change my diet. I can go work out harder than I normally do, or I can just start working out. But it lowers your blood sugar and insulin, and it helps you easily intermittent fast without your cravings. And you can focus on that low carb, high wild animal protein diet. Inflammation will be reduced, PCOS and insulin resistance may reverse, and it will start feeding those hair follicles the proper nutrients and encourage that hair growth. And remember, the accelerated keto is also going to give you that oomph to go do life and help with your mood. And it will lower your stress because you're feeling so good, your stress and your cortisol go down. It's also helping detox the liver on a gentle daily basis. It's turning those saturated fats into unsaturated fats that are much easier to burn, and your body has usable energy on it all the time. And now our energy is needing to come from hydration and from our electrolytes, not from food. Yes, we eventually need to eat it within our intermittent fasting or our eating window. But this allows us to intermittent fast, which triggers that autophagy. And that autophagy is cleaning up all the toxins and the junk out of our body. And just by engaging in intermittent fasting, you are also reducing the oxidative stress in the body, lessening the need for antioxidants. That's why sometimes when you get on the accelerated keto, you don't need a lot of the supplements you might be taking, and it replaces them because you don't need those antioxidants. Super powerful in reversing that blood sugar and insulin response, helping with the toxicity in the body and opening up the detoxification pathways and getting rid of those toxins that are clogging the hair follicles. Next is the magnesium breakthrough. This is new to my website, and the reason is I, for years, did not settle on one proper magnesium supplement until I came across this one. It is a formulation of 7 types of magnesium. It dampens the effects of DHT on the hair follicle, counteracts the calcium's negative effects on the hair, and feeds the hair the needed magnesium for optimal hair growth. And magnesium breakthrough reduces the stress, improves sleep quality, and induces relaxation, and helps with over 600 biochemical mechanisms in the body. You will be stressed if you're not sleeping. You will lose your hair if you're not sleeping. So with all of these supplements too, you want to make sure that you are sleeping, and the magnesium breakthrough will help you do that. Accelerate iodine. Iodine helps regulate estrogen, alleviates that estrogen dominance that we talked about, in addition to feeding the thyroid the much needed iodine. 96% of you, maybe not you now because most of you are on the Acceleride. If you are not on Acceleride, you are probably deficient in iodine. It is no longer in our diet or our soils, and this iodine in other supplements is coming from toxic sources, most likely. And Acceleride is the only iodine that is 100% bioavailable. Most iodine supplements are only 10 to 20% bioavailable. It also helps block all of the toxins coming in. Acceleride is also enhanced with scalar frequencies to detox you from radiation, graphene oxide, spike proteins, and everything else that we're suffering from right now in the 2020s of this new modern world. And it kicks those toxins out, the fluoride, the heavy metals, the radiation. So it's really, really important. If there's 1 to 2 supplements that I tell you that you have to take, that is high priority, it's the Accelerate, and then of course my Accelerated Silver to boost your immune system. Next is Nuke No More, and that can help eliminate all non-ionizing radiation and ionizing radiation. Radiation not only causes an increased risk of cancer, thyroid disease, or other chronic diseases, but also degrades the health of the cells, which leads to accelerating aging and hair loss. This is the only supplement that I know of that is able to zero out radiation from the body. Tomorrow on the podcast, I have Ken Rolla, an expert in radiation and protecting yourself. So look out for that. All of my podcasts are at 1 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesdays. That's one not to miss. Accelerated Silver, like I just mentioned, this is enhancing your immune system's ability to devitalize foreign pathogens, including viruses, bacteria, fungus, and parasites. A lot of people say that they are losing hair from a fungal problem, from a skin fungus. You can actually spray the silver in your hair or on your skin if you've got a fungus issue or bacteria or virus. If your immune system is being bombarded by these foreign pathogens, it cannot simultaneously engage in anti-aging mechanisms or autoimmune issues. So you want to give your immune system a boost so that it's stronger to deal with other issues. By keeping your immune system strong, the body engages in those anti-inflammatory processes and leads to optimal health and optimal hair growth. Okay, the glutathione stem cell patch. Now, the glutathione is the master antioxidant, detoxifier, immune booster, and neuroprotector. And when you use the patch, the body successfully detoxes the toxins that inhibit hair growth. The patch by itself increases glutathione by 300% in 24 hours. Most glutathione supplements increase your levels by 14% in 30 days. There's no comparison. Even if you get the IV injection, that lasts for a day, does you no good. You want to get the glutathione patch. When it's worn with the X39, it increases to 400% of an increase. And it's also great for antiviral infections. It does help with hair growth as well. I've mentioned wild animal protein because you need zinc, amino acids, and B vitamins, and those are coming from wild animal protein. That is bison, lamb, elk, deer, Cornish game hen, wild salmon, wild fish. That's where you're going to get that nutrient dense source of wild animal protein. They are necessary for healthy hair and thyroid. Nature gave you this really nutrient dense source of these vitamins that are so needed for all of your organs in your body. Okay, thyroid GF. Soon, accelerated thyroid is going to be here. We are waiting for manufacturing. And if you are watching this recording, it might be out. So definitely check the website for it. Accelerated thyroid is going to feed the thyroid the proper nutrients for optimal thyroid and metabolism, but also improve lymphatic drainage, support detoxification and rejuvenation, and help with the circulation of your blood. It is an amazing supplement that once your thyroid's working, your hair's going to have a chance to finally grow. But in the meantime, I am using the combination of thyroid GF and Conchinara. Thyroid GF is a formula to balance the thyroid gland, support the thyroid gland's ability as the master control gland in producing a normal and healthy metabolism. And it helps with promoting weight loss, but it will also help the thyroid health to help your hair. Conchinara, which will be one of the ingredients in the accelerated thyroid, helps improve thyroid function, improve lymphatic drainage, and all of the rest to help detox the thyroid as well. So we get that calcification and the fluoride out of the thyroid and help it working more efficiently. Accelerated ancient salt. Trace minerals are essential for hair health, and the accelerated ancient salt has over 62 minerals in addition to added scalar frequencies to support detoxification from radiation and all the other toxins that could be clogging the hair follicles. Besides being the best tasting salt you'll ever experience, it has that negative charge. And what does that mean? That negative charge helps pull out the positively charged toxins, parasites, and undigested fats. So it's really important it also helps reorganize the DNA in the body. What does that mean? That means everything's working better to help with the hair growth in addition to everything else. The Eon patch is another patch. It helps lower our cortisol level, helps get us out of the sympathetic mode into the parasympathetic modes, reduces stress, gives you a healthy inflammatory response, reduces that cortisol, calms you. And what does that mean? That means that the inflammation that causes hair loss is going to stop. So the stress is coming in, the Eon patch takes away the negative side effects from the stress, and our body can function the way it's meant to, including helping with optimal hair growth. Quintessential 0.9, this is just like the accelerated ancient salt as it is rich in minerals, and it can supply the body and the hair follicles with the needed trace minerals, including potassium, chloride, and magnesium, sodium, the proper amounts. And it truly rehydrates the cells in the proper way to give you that state of homeostasis and normal digestion, normal hydration. Vitamin D is, of course, needed. It helps reduce stress and acts as a natural anti-inflammatory. And lastly, what do you need? You need to incorporate a low-carb diet. Those carbohydrates, the processed foods, the vegetable oils, they are extremely inflammatory, disrupting thyroid function, leading to hair loss, could also be causing leaky gut, which inhibits that nutrient absorption. So focus on your protein. Put your protein on your plate first. You sprinkle in the vegetables that agree with you, not the oxalates, not the sulfur vegetables. Depending on your tolerance, we want to eliminate those initially. Get your body back to working and absorbing what it can. You can maybe start incorporating some of those other vegetables in moderation later down the road. Don't eat too many fats. If your body has a problem digesting fat, you want to use the fats like avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil. Those are the ones that are really good for healthy hair growth. But the animal fats that you're taking in from grass-fed, grass-finished animals are also extremely healthy for your hair. So that is really important to do. Super easy to do a low-carb diet when you're taking the accelerated keto, because your body says, oh, I want the protein and the fat. I'm not going to be craving the sugars anymore. Something that you need to know is, yes, there is a wiring that we've talked about with the sugar dopamine pathway from your gut to your brain. But by being in ketosis, that gets rewired so that your dopamine is actually linked to eating protein and fats. How amazing is that? Your body says, wait a second, I'm getting amazing energy from ketones and from protein and fats, not from these carbs that I used to get. I'm going to rewire my gut to brain dopamine response. And literally all of our behaviors are wired to that dopamine response, whether it's going to win a gold medal or run a marathon or just get an A on a project or eating the right thing, right? So we all are driven by dopamine. To be able to attach dopamine to healthy habits is amazing. So those are my tips for hair health. I personally have seen a huge difference. My daughter has complained that she was starting to lose hair. I've put her on these things and she's excited. Same with my husband and clients as well. Heather has already seen a huge difference. So let me know if you have any questions. I am looking at, let's see here. How are you measuring your age? Great question. I have devices that measure my age. The Skio machine, which is a machine that I've worked with for years, that scans your body for over 30 or 10,000 items, can tell you what your biological and chronological age are. I also use a device on my phone that is called the Genius Insight app. It scans my body of all of those things that we just talked about. It is the mini version of the Skio, and the Skio costs $30,000. This costs less than $1,000, and it's an app on your phone. You can use it for your family and friends. You can actually build a business around it. If you're interested, let me know. I will also put the group chat that you can join if you're interested in learning more about the Genius app, and you can do a one-on-one consultation and a 2-week free trial. I have this thing running on me 24/7, taking care of all of the imbalances in my body. It even has a library for hair, telling me if my hair is suffering or if my hair is doing well. So, okay. Zen, so the question about are these the products in the cleanse? Most of them are. Most of them are the products in the Ascent Diet Cleanse. That is the place where I would highly recommend everyone start. And then adding in the patches, adding in the liquid biocell collagen. I believe those were the only ones. The thyroid supplements are not included in the cleanse. So if you need extra thyroid support, you would need to add those in. The MyVital C is a recommended supplement on the Ascent Diet Cleanse page, but it is not included. So those are the ones, and we will over this next month, and in my group Telegram education, I go through some of these supplements in detail. So make sure you join, invite your friends, invite your family members that just want to start learning. Maybe they're not ready to jump in, but they just want to start learning. Invite them in. If you have a LifeWave business with the patches already, but you want your clients to get more of an impact from their patches, invite them to my group education. They're going to learn about the patches, which is going to reinforce them coming back to you. And it's also going to enhance their results. So they're going to really trust you in what to do and how to learn. I don't need to sell supplements. I just want to emphasize that. Everything that I promote, I use, and I have seen a difference. I do not promote anything that doesn't work. So just know that everything has been tested multiple times over on me and my family members. They are my guinea pigs. I've wasted a lot of money on things that don't work, and I am here to help you. So we are out of time. If there are any questions that I did not answer, you can put them in the group education chat on Telegram, or you can email me directly if you have any questions about your own health protocols or your own personal health issues. I'm always happy to put together a protocol for you, and my email will be in the chat below, or the description below. This will be posted in the Telegram chat, just as every episode is that we do on Mondays at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Thanks everybody for joining me today.